Hey,
Hello.
Cathena. Hey, sorry to bother you, but you sounds like you're driving to work still.
I am. Yes.
Okay, cool. You're live on YouTube, by the way. Just FYI.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna, dude. I was gonna tell you. Um, let's obviously cross your fingers that Haley's buyer follows through and we get it across the finish line.
Yeah.
That being said, I want to ask you this. From day one to now, what is the one key thing you've learned about this specific deal, especially after your last phone call with the seller?
Um, Really for me is that he truly is motivated. So, like RJ says, if they're motivated, they're going to come down in price. So for me, that's like the biggest thing. Like, wow, I've never had anyone go, okay, that works. Sure. That's what you want. Okay. So he's truly motivated.
Absolutely. And did you hear how did he respond? How did he respond to you when you said we need this at 8?
He was like, okay.
Exactly.
I mean, there was like no question or anything about it. He's like, okay.
None whatsoever. So I really wanted you to have that experience because that was my first experience on my first deal. First deal was I locked it up at 25 and then we ended up selling it for like 11.
Wow.
Or 10. It was like low number. It was like 10, anywhere between 10 to 12,000. And it was just such a it was mind boggling for me. I was like, oh my gosh, this whole time I'm like sweating. I have anxiety. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't get this thing across the finish line. And then finally I was like, the best we can do is 10K, right? Let's just say it's between 10 to 12. I forgot what it was, but I was like 10K. And they're like, oh, I'm like 10K is better than no K.
Right.
And then it literally took them 30 seconds. They're like, you know what? You're right. Let's just get this thing across.
Yes.
And
exactly.
So this is why, like, I'm always preaching, like, you just don't know if you don't know the exact motivation, like you're thinking you have to be at a certain price point when you don't necessarily have to. You know, if I were to take a guess, that guy probably would have taken this at 5.
5, yeah, probably.
Because he didn't even budge when you said 8. I listened to that call and it was like, okay,
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, wow, I probably could have gotten at 5, which is what he said at my very first phone call with him. He's like, even if I lose money, I just need this gone, so you hear sellers say that, but it's like he really was true to his word. Like, he just wants to be done. So I agree. Let's keep our fingers crossed that this buyer comes through.
Yep, absolutely. And like I said, fingers crossed, whether the buyer comes through or not, at least we now have that mentality, that mindset, because now you've experienced it yourself instead of just hearing it from me or anyone and everyone else. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, if you remember, and if you don't mind, I'll call you out because people are watching, and everyone has this, and I had it too, right? When we started, remember when you asked how much you want it for, he said between 10 to 15.
Yes.
And then you locked it up at how much? You offered him 13, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was 13. Yep.
Right.
Exactly. I think it was 13.
And you offered 13 because you're still new. Like, I probably would have done the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you and I had a discussion. I was like, and you even said it, it's like, Caesar, you're gonna call me out on it. I was like, you probably say you would have offered it at 8, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
And I was like,
I
do. Yeah, I would have offered it. Like, I would have started at 5 and moved it at 8, and then that's where we're landing. So hopefully, this experience gives you the confidence to really 100% full on take the buyer's mentality, throw an offer, and then, like, if you're okay at 8, then offer 5, and then move your way up to 8. If you're okay at if the calculator says 25, start at 20. That's your offer, not 28 because he's at 50. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep, I do. And it is. It's definitely giving me more confidence for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Because I thought, I was like, wait, I'm like, this would actually be good for everyone who's new I have Joel listening. He hasn't closed a deal yet. He's doing a lot of cold calling. Other folks on here. So if everyone goes through what you went through, I went through that. I still remember it was that lady from Ozona, Texas. Dude, I couldn't find a buyer. You know who bought the damn property? The people that were painting my ex's condo.
Oh, wow.
They heard my conversation. They're like, oh, like you're in real estate, you buy things? Like, yeah, I do this. It's like, bro, like we can't buy anything here in California. We just want to pay for something cash, or like, I don't care if it's a beat up full gut. Like we know how to do it. We're Mexicans. We've got family members. And I was like, yeah, bro, I have this in Ozona. I was like 19. And then they drove from here to Texas the next day.
Wow.
And then they're like, bro, we can't do 19 here. This is a full gut. Like, I asked a couple of contractors already over there. I know how much it's going to cost me. I need this like at 13. I think I was able to get them to like 14 and a half. And then I was like, and I told sellers, like, this is our last shot. If you walk away from this, it's the city's just going to bulldoze your house. So 10K is better than no K. And they're like, done. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
You know, but it was such an eye opener for me, you know, and it's like, I was having such anxiety on that price point when they were okay with it. So
yeah, exactly. So again, like I said, I think it goes back to what RJ always says. There's true motivation there. It's going to move. You're going to make it happen. So I just need to realize that sometimes sellers are not as motivated as I think they are.
Yeah. And if they're not, that's okay. Move on to the next one. But the ones.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so if you look at it, like, that's how I look at it, like just like a poker game. Like at the end of the day, you're going to miss those because you're going to think they're highly motivated when they're not. And then there are days when you're going to miss the ones that are highly motivated and you don't think that they are. So the thing is, if you're going to miss both of them, do you want to capture them when you have when you're throwing a higher offer, or you want to capture them when you're throwing a low offer?
Right, of course.
You want to catch when you're throwing a low offer, because the one that's highly motivated will be like, yes, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to make up for the other ones that you lost because of that big spread.
Yep, I agree. I totally agree with you.
All right, I'm done preaching. Have a good one. Have a good one. Thanks.
Oops. All right. I'm at work now.
Okay. Bye, Cathena. Have a good one.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I just want to have that conversation in front of you guys. For you folks that are new, everyone goes through it. I've gone through it. And then until you have that experience personally, when you're like, now I know exactly what Caesar's saying. Now I know exactly what Cathena's saying. I know exactly what RJ's saying. I know what all of these other people are saying. It's natural to have that fear, that worriness. I don't even know if that's a word. That anxiety. But at the end of the day, if they're motivated and the price point still achieves their goal, because that's the most important thing, that it achieves their goal. If it achieves their goal, it achieves their goal. And so once that's done, man, that's where you can make some cheese. Now, obviously, this is a West Virginia deal, so there's really no cheese to be made here, except for the fact that after all the JV agreements, after everyone gets their piece of the pie, I can get like 100 coupon club leads out of it. Hailey, tell me you got good news.
I have good news.
Yes, you're still on live. I love it. Give me some good news, baby. Let's go.
I just got off the phone with the buyer, and he said he's gonna move forward. So he's gonna do it. And not only did I get a yes, I got everything we need. So I got his LLC, I got his email, I got his title company that he uses. So we can move forward on that. And then I did get him to agree to an extra $500. So we landed at $15,500, including the TC cost.
Yeah, let's go. There you go.
Let's go.
Yeah. So the assignment would still be at 15. And then, but on title, it's going to say 15.5 because it's going to go 15 plus the 500.
Okay. So are you gonna you're assigning it to me at 15 then, or sorry, how are you assigning it to me, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah. So what you can do is I can send I can go ahead and just send him. I'll send him the assignment with me signing it, and then you sign the JV agreement, so that way you're included on it.
Okay, cool. Because I would love to just get that piece of it shored up just to make sure that we're all good to go on title, JV, all of that, and then
yeah, let's do it.
Sweet. I told him I would get it over to him here in the next couple of minutes. So everything's happening at once. Of course, I have a meeting at 10 coming up here in like 10 minutes. And I'm like,
just send me
my brother's dog.
Send me all of his info and just say, hey, my guy Caesar, he's gonna send you the assignment. And then he's gonna sign, you're gonna sign. We should be good to go. He's got all of the information. And then I'll text you once it's sent, so you can at least tell him, hey, it's gonna come from Simply. Like what to look for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right. Send me all the info.
Let me get inside.
Yep.
Let me get you all the info. Let me sign the JV. And then we'll get it moving.
Yeah, for sure. And then
awesome.
I'll have my TC open title today so he can deposit the EMD tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. And then he did, I got him to agree to a 1,000 EMD.
Oh, 1,000 EMD?
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. It's such a low price point. I don't care.
I know. Yeah, I was like, cool. If we can just do anything, that would be great. We normally do 5,000, but he agreed to 1,000. So
sweet. All right. Cool. I'll drop this up right now. Just send me all the info.
Okay. Well, give me just a couple minutes, and I'll get inside and do that.
Sweet. Cool.
Awesome. Okay. Yay! Right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Awesome.
Okay.
Is this your first deal?
Yeah, it is. And I don't want to jinx it yet because I need him to sign this contract first. So let's just wait till he gets it signed. But like he gave me a verbal yes, and that feels good. So
all right, Kobe. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Right. Awesome, dude. I am so pumped. So this is also Cathena's first deal. They've been and Hailey's first deal. They all been trying to do it on their own for a while now. Dude, this is so awesome. Cathena is working with me. She's calling my leads. And I believe Cathena have written 5 contracts so far since she started with me. And this is the first one that's going through. And so I wanted to bring that up and point that out to you guys, because when Cathena jumped on board with me, I told her, go fuck some shit up. You're going to lock up deals. You're going to come to me and I'm going to tell you it's overpriced. And it's okay. You learn from it. But you just go for it. I need you to get the words out of your mouth. I need you to get used to it. I need you to get used to hearing no. I need you to get used to hearing people tell you to kick rocks. Whatever it is. I need you to get through that motion. And the only way to get through that motion is to make an offer on the spot, send out the agreement on the spot, and get it signed on the spot. And so I just set up proper expectation. You're going to go through a lot, and most of them probably not going to come in. Why? Because you're not that great at comping it. It's just part of the game, guys. So I want you guys to fully understand that, because I know everyone's just like, oh my gosh, I gave this person my word and now it's not going to happen. There's just so many variables. You guys are making an offer. We're making an offer sight unseen. Just that alone, there's already a set of variables that we cannot control, right? So ARV can be wrong. Your rehab costs can be wrong. There are certain market conditions that you might not be able to see through your screen, right? Or perhaps you can if you're experienced enough and you'd be able to see it within first 15 minutes. But for someone new, these are the variables that exist that you don't have control over. So just know that in the beginning, you're going to screw up a lot. You're going to lock up deals. They're going to be overpriced. But the key thing is for you to stay open-minded when someone like myself or anyone else who has experience tell you that it's a shit deal. If it's a shit deal, don't take it personally. Don't take it as them shitting on your deal. It's just they know because they moved deals before, right? So if you come to me and I go, hey, you've overpriced this deal and it's shit, right? Okay, take that in, internalize it on why I'm saying it's overpriced, and then go to another person and then see if they'd say the same thing. And if you have 3-4 people saying exactly the same thing, then most likely it's a shit deal, right? And so I just wanted to bring this up because I've come across people who take it personally and they're like, no, it's not. It's not a shit deal because it can do this, it can do that, it can do this. I go, great. How many deals have you gone across the finish line? So then how can you tell me that those things are going to happen? Is it possible? Yes. Can you find a buyer that will agree with what you said? Yes. The question is, do you have the time, the capital, and the right partners to find that buyer? If you do, then go for it. But if you don't, it's going to take a long time to move it. And if you don't move it, meaning you don't find that specific buyer, other investors have now seen that property and now it's got a bad reputation, right? Because it's overpriced. And so that's kind of like, that's what you need to look into and go, ooh, do I really want to put this out there or not? So yeah, just wanted to kind of rant there for a little bit. Hopefully that was good and that added value to you guys. And like I said, even now, I still screw up deals. There are times when I overprice them. There are times when I'm talking to dispo teams and we're at impasse. Like, dude, we can't lock this. We can't put this out there. I'm like, okay, but I feel strongly about certain deals. And I go, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to find someone else that will. That being said, there are ones where they state their case. And if their case makes sense, then I swallow my pride and I go, all right, I screwed this up. Now it's time for me to go back to that seller to either get a price reduction or just rip the contract in half. It's the name of the game. And so just wanted to bring that up to you guys. If you guys like what I just said right now, drop a 1. If you feel or strongly disagree with what I just said, drop a 2 or drop a comment on the chat. I would love to hear from you. Love to hear your experience as well. Let me know.